How did people manage their lives before clocks existed? No alarms, no ticking hands, and no precise hours. They didn't just survive, they thrived using some of the most bizarre and creative timekeeping methods in history. From shadows on the ground to burning incense, the history of time is a wild story full of surprises. Let's explore the fascinating and sometimes chaotic ways ancient civilizations tracked time. In our modern world, time is everywhere. We carry it on our phones, wear it on our wrists, and even rely on it to control our appliances. But have you ever stopped to think about how people in ancient times measured time? Didn't have clocks, watches, or calendars like we do today. Instead, they used nature, their surroundings, and their creativity to build systems that worked for their daily lives. The history of time is a story of trial and error, innovation and survival. From shadow clocks in Egypt that stopped working on cloudy days to water clocks in China that needed constant attention, ancient methods were as unpredictable as they were fascinating. In this video, we'll dive deep into the crazy ways civilizations managed their time, the challenges they faced, and the impact these methods had on their lives. Stick around because the stories will leave you in awe of human ingenuity. Section 1. The history of time begins with one of the simplest tools, the sun. Ancient Egyptians were among the first to create shadow clocks, also known as sundials. These devices used the position of the sun to cast a shadow on marked surfaces, dividing the day into sections. While this method worked well on sunny days, it was completely useless on cloudy days or at night. Imagine an important event being delayed just because the sun wasn't cooperating. Egyptians had to rely on backup methods, like estimating time by routines or observing other natural phenomena. The shadow clock taught people to align their lives with nature, but it also highlighted the limits of early timekeeping systems. This innovation laid the foundation for future advancements. Section 2. The next major development in the history of time came from flowing water. Ancient Chinese water clocks were ingenious. They used a steady drip of water into a container, with markings showing the passage of time. Some even had alarms triggered by water filling certain compartments. But these clocks weren't perfect. If the water flow was uneven or the container leaked, the entire system failed. Maintaining these clocks required constant care and attention. Despite their flaws, water clocks were incredibly influential and spread to other parts of the world. Water clocks were more reliable than shadow clocks in many ways, but they also demonstrated how difficult it was to measure time accurately. Section 3. Tracking time at night posed a unique challenge in the history of time. The Babylonians turned to the stars. They divided the night into 12 sections based on the movement of celestial bodies. This system helped them plan agricultural activities, religious ceremonies, and daily life. However, cloudy skies made this system unreliable. Farmers often missed critical planting or harvesting periods because they couldn't see the stars. The Babylonian star-based system shows how early civilizations depended on the natural world for timekeeping, even when it came with significant risks. Section 4. Timekeeping wasn't always about what you could see, it was also about what you could smell. In medieval Japan, incense clocks became a popular way to measure time. These clocks used sticks of incense that released different scents at different times of the day. Monks and scholars relied on these fragrant timepieces to mark hours for prayer, meditation, or study. However, this method wasn't perfect. If the incense burned too fast or too slow, it disrupted the entire schedule. Incense clock is a fascinating example of how people used all their senses to track time, turning something as intangible as smell into a tool for daily life. Section 5. Some civilizations didn't follow the sun or stars, they followed the moon. The Mayans created a lunar calendar that influenced every aspect of their lives. They used the moon to schedule festivals, sacrifices, and even agricultural tasks. This system reflected their deep connection to the cosmos but wasn't always practical. Example, the lunar calendar didn't align perfectly with the solar year, which caused confusion in farming and trade. The Mayan lunar calendar shows how cultural beliefs shaped the way people measured time, making it more than just a practical tool. Section 6. The history of time also includes fire as a tool for tracking hours. In parts of ancient India and the Middle East, oil lamps were used as clocks. People would mark the lamp with levels that indicated the passage of time as the oil burned down. These lamps were simple yet effective, but like other early methods, they weren't perfect. A sudden gust of wind or uneven burning could throw off the timing. Fire clocks highlight the creativity of early humans in their quest to understand and control time. The history of time is a story of constant innovation. From shadow clocks to incense, every method brought humanity closer to the precise timekeeping systems we use today. If you're fascinated by how time has shaped civilization, check out our next video, The History of World Civilization. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more amazing stories from the past.